Welcome back to Narrate Now. Today we're diving into a chilling supernatural horror film about a mysterious music box that grants 7 wishes, but every wish comes with a terrible price. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a movie breakdown. On a quiet day in the suburbs, Johanna, a troubled woman, wraps something in a sheet and throws it into the trash. Meanwhile, her daughter Claire is happily riding her bicycle around the neighborhood with her dog Max. But when Claire returns home, she calls out for her mother and makes a horrifying discovery. Johanna has tragically taken life in the attic. Years later, Claire is now a teenager, but the trauma still haunts her dreams. One morning, she wakes up after reliving the nightmare of her mother's death. She rides her bicycle to school, stopping briefly to help her Uncle August get the newspaper. That small delay almost cost her life. Popular mean girl Darcy and her friends speed by in a car, nearly running Claire over. When she crashes into the trash cans, they mock her as she scrapes her knee. At school, things get worse. Claire notices her father, Jonathan, dumpster diving with his friend Carl right across from campus. Even though they aren't technically on school grounds, students see him and whisper cruel things behind Claire's back. Embarrassed, she yells at Jonathan to leave. He scolds her for visiting Uncle August, someone the family is supposed to avoid, but she ignores him. Later, Claire joins her friends June and Meredith to hang up a banner they made. But disaster strikes again. A boy sneaks a picture of Claire from behind, and Darcy ruins the banner by throwing her drink at it. To make matters worse, Claire notices her crush Paul is dating Darcy. During class, Ryan tries to compliment Claire on the banner, but she's too distracted by Paul to care. Meanwhile, Jonathan and Carl are back dumpster diving, this time at a cemetery. Among the discarded junk, Jonathan finds a beautiful but locked antique box. He decides to keep it, not realizing what he's unleashed. At lunch, Claire and her friends laugh at Darcy, who overhears them. In front of the entire cafeteria, Claire calls Darcy the ultimate smegma, a disgusting insult. Darcy slaps her, but Claire slaps her right back. Things explode into a full-on fight as Darcy shoves Claire to the floor, and Claire tackles her on top of a table. Students cheer and record the scene while the two girls brawl nonstop. Finally, an adult intervenes and pulls Claire away. When Darcy tries to attack again, Paul carries her out. That evening, Jonathan surprises Claire with an early birthday gift, the same antique box he found. Claire examines it and notices the inscription, 7 wishes, written in Chinese, though she can't open it. Later, Claire discovers Darcy has uploaded the fight online, but only the parts that make Claire look bad. On top of that, Darcy shares a photo of Jonathan dumpster diving, and now everyone at school mocks Claire with a cruel new nickname, Garbage Girl. Furious and humiliated, Claire picks up the box and wishes for Darcy to rot. At that moment, Max starts growling at the box, refusing to come into the room. That night, the box mysteriously opens on its own, playing eerie music before closing again. Elsewhere, Darcy wakes up during a sleepover. When she goes to the bathroom, she discovers her skin is literally rotting away. As she looks in the mirror, more sores spread across her face, and she screams in horror while her friends rush in and take pictures. By the next morning, the photos go viral, and Darcy becomes the laughingstock of the school. But Claire's small victory is short-lived. When she realizes Max is missing, she searches under the deck, only to find his lifeless body being eaten by rats. Devastated, she watches Jonathan and Carl bury Max, the beloved dog her mother once gave her. The next day, Claire shows the box to her Chinese teacher, hoping he can translate it. Unfortunately, he explains it's written in ancient Chinese and advises her to find a scholar. Ryan overhears and offers to connect her with his cousin Gina, but Claire brushes him off. That night, grieving Max, Claire impulsively wishes for Paul to fall madly in love with her. The following morning, Paul suddenly ignores his girlfriend and pays all his attention to Claire. But while the box plays its haunting tune, tragedy strikes elsewhere. Uncle August slips in the bathtub, fatally hitting his head. When Claire returns home, she learns of his death. Jonathan dismisses it, saying August was no loss since they were estranged. But soon after, the family receives shocking news. August left his fortune entirely to Claire. Suddenly wealthy, the family moves into a luxurious house. Claire buys new clothes, gets a new phone, and even earns more attention from Paul. But the box is not done. That night, it opens again as Claire's former neighbor is using her garbage disposal. A strange sound makes her investigate, but when she leans too close, her hair gets caught. She struggles to turn it off, but the machine pulls her down, snapping her neck and killing her. Days later, Claire spends time with Paul and enjoys her new popularity, but her dreams keep returning to the box. Eventually, curiosity pushes her to seek Ryan's help. He and Gina identify the artifact as a type of Chinese wish pot, tied to the legend of a woman named Lu Mei. Long ago, Lu Mei lost her family during a quarantine, and in her grief, she prayed for 7 days until a demon answered. She gained riches and power, but 12 years later, her life ended tragically. The curse of her box has carried on ever since. The translations reveal chilling rules. Whoever uses the box must pay a blood price. Every wish demands a death. And worst of all, if you discard the box, all wishes will be undone. Despite this, Claire can't resist. She keeps making wishes for her father to be less embarrassing, for popularity at school, for everything she's ever wanted. But each wish takes another life. Gina, crushed in her apartment after uncovering the box's truth. Meredith, killed in a horrific elevator crash, and others in increasingly violent accidents. As the deaths pile up, Claire becomes more paranoid and desperate. She hides the box, then retrieves it again, unable to let go. Even Paul, now unnaturally obsessed with her, becomes dangerous, breaking into her room with a knife, declaring he can't live without her. By now, Ryan uncovers the darkest truth. Every previous owner of the box lived a life of wealth and success, but all were surrounded by death and eventually died by their own hand. The curse is unbreakable. Finally, Claire makes her most heartbreaking wish. She asks for her mother, Johanna, to return, alive and well. To her shock, it works. Her mother appears as if she never died, and the family celebrates Claire's birthday together. But the illusion quickly shatters. Claire realizes Johanna also once used the box, and her death had been part of the curse. As the box plays its final tune, Jonathan is killed in a gruesome accident, and Claire finally understands the truth. There is no escaping its grip. In desperation, she uses her last wish, to go back in time, to the day Jonathan first found the box. Suddenly, Claire wakes up with Max alive again, and her friends unharmed. She finds the box herself during the dumpster dive, hides it in her bag, and gives it to Ryan to bury, begging him not to open it. Everything seems fixed, until fate strikes one last time. As Claire leaves school, Darcy accidentally hits her with a car, killing her instantly. In the final haunting scene, Ryan, curious about the box, digs it back up. As he reads the inscription, the words appear once again, 7 wishes. The curse begins anew. That's the end of this tragic tale of greed, loss, and a cursed object that never stops taking. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Narrate Now for more detailed movie breakdowns. And let us know in the comments, what would you have wished for?